Greetings and salutations to you all. This is Tessa Feller for Wife, bringing you guys another video, which is mostly a update, delaying until I actually do my projects or whatnot. So I had mentioned before that I'm working on a video relating to KomoriCon 2006. That's the local anime convention that I attended. The files are a little bit bigger than I planned, and I'm still trying to work out some details and all sorts of fun shit along those lines. So, in the meantime, I thought that I would do something that is still related to KomoriCon and something a little bit more different. And what I mean by that mostly is I want to take this opportunity to give a congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for winning their first World Series title in 108 years. Now, I actually called out sick today. Well, by the time you guys watch this, it'll be yesterday. I had completely forgotten that Game 7 was today. And it wasn't until it was about 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time that I was like, oh crap, I think that game is on right now. So I switched it over, and it was the bottom of the 8th. At the time, Chicago was up 6-3, and I was happy about that because I was definitely rooting for Chicago more so. But Cleveland came back to 6, or to tie it up at 6, and the game went into overtime. Well, extra innings technically is the term you would use. And it was just, it was fun. It was a fun 2.5 innings of play. Very heart-pounding because no matter what was going to happen, there was going to be a team that was going to win its first World Series, and God knows how fucking long. Well, I mean, anybody who was paying attention knew how long. But my point being, either team has had long coming championships, so at least a lot of people would argue that point. So, but in any case, congratulations, Chicago. You guys totally fucking did it. Nice job. So now I'm going to move on to the actual KomoriCon video that I was kind of briefly talking about. So the video that I've been working on and I'm still working on is mostly me interviewing people. This, however, is me briefly talking about what I am planning on doing for KomoriCon next year. And of course, none of it's finite at all. But I'm thinking about returning to staff. I did staff for 10 years. This year, I decided to just be an attendee. It was my first time doing that. And while I enjoyed myself, there is a slight part of me that kind of wishes that I could return to staff. And I actually have a friend who's the current, well, I guess I should technically say the previous because the year's over, the previous photography coordinator. And he told me that all I have to do is get a camera and show that I know how to fucking work it, pretty much, and show demonstrations of my work. And he said that if I want a position in the photography department, he'll give one to me. So I'm like, fucking sweet. So I'm looking at possibly getting a good quality camera and doing that, because that sounds like fun. Now, as for costumes, because let's face it, that's one of the best parts of going to cons. If you've never been to a convention, that's definitely one of the things that stands out, is wearing costumes. Granted, we're kind of picked on for it, but you know what? Fuck you assholes if you pick on people in costumes. That's fun. I do have a list of costumes that I'm considering doing. So I'm going to go ahead and mention the one that I think is going to be the most likely out of the current bunch. At least as of now, and that is WWE legend and recently departed Rowdy Roddy Piper. I think it would be absolutely fun as shit to cosplay as Roddy Piper. And despite what some people that I have told this idea to think, I believe that I could pull it off well. I kind of have the look. I mean, definitely I'd want to shave off the beard and wear contacts again, which actually I started doing that about a week and a half ago. I could pull it off. I definitely have that personality. I don't really show it that much when I do these videos, and the one person in particular that I know of that is kind of in with my idea, he doesn't really know me that well, so I think his opinion is kind of invalid on whether or not I can be rowdy. And besides, I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. I say cosplaying is not about what kind of personality you're like. It's about what kind of character you personally fancy. That's what cosplay is to me. It's not about who you are as a person, it's about what you like as a fan. Another cosplay that I'm thinking about doing, and I've been thinking about this kind of off and on for the past couple of years, that is Beast Boy from Teen Titans. Now, I'm actually, okay, looking at this, you'd probably be thinking that I'm looking at the purple and black jumpsuit thingy that he wears in the Teen Titans show that was out in the earlier part of the century. Well, I'm not really going to do that. I'm actually really liking some of the looks that they did for Teen Titans Go, at least as far as costumes go. No, not that one. No, I'm not going to walk around in my underwear and green skin. No, that's just... No. Here, hang on a second. Here we go. Here we go. He's walking around like a fucking nerd. Now, for those of you who don't watch Teen Titans Go, there's an episode where Robin basically convinces well, actually, miraculously, he bribes the group into going to high school. And he gives everybody labels, what he thinks is the correct label for everybody. And for whatever reason, he thinks that Beast Boy should be a nerd. For some reason, that makes sense to him. I don't get it. Although it's really weird is in that episode, it actually does make sense. Which makes even even less sense when you think about it. But that's kind of part of the fun of the show. It's satire. It's not supposed to make sense. Always, anyways. So I'm thinking about doing that version of Beast Boy, and I also thought about like printing off the faces of various animals that he's turned into in both shows, coloring them up green, and then painting popsicle sticks on them, so that way as I'm going through the con, I can put an animal in front of my face and be like, look, I'm a giraffe, or something like that. It's just something I think would be kind of fun to do. Now, another thing that I'm thinking about doing, and I was actually kind of hoping to do it for KomoriCon this year, but I kind of ran out of time and supplies, but I'm wanting to do something My Little Pony-ish, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this image. I'm not planning on going as Big Mac, but in fact, technically, I guess you could say that I'm going as two female ponies at the same time, and that would be Rarity and Twilight. But more accurately, this box costume that you see them currently in. I want to go as the box costume. Now, if you look at the details in this picture, Rarity's the one on top. So I guess technically I'd be going as Rarity, and finding something to work as holes for Twilight or whatnot. And I'm kind of thinking about getting a Spike plushie and putting that on top, so that way it's literally like this image. But at the same time, if I can't, I'm not really going to stress about it that much. It's just something I think would be kind of like extra sweet. But so yeah, I think it'd be kind of funny to go as this rock costume. So why? Because I'm weird. So moving along, I also want to do something special in honor of a friend of mine. A co-worker of mine, more accurately, but I liked him. I considered him to be a friend, someone who I can relate to while I was at work, which there's not really a lot of people that I work with that I can relate to. But one of the things that he and I shared in common was cross-dressing. Now, he is one of those kind of people who cross-dresses because he feels right about it. He feels like he's supposed to do it. As far as I know, he's straight, so I think he's just a cross-dresser. But as for me, I'm one of those kind of people who did it because I thought it was funny. It just seemed amusing to me, and it was also really funny seeing people being tricked as to thinking that I was a woman, or what, just complimenting me for doing a good job of looking like a woman. So I kind of want to do it again one more time. The last time I did it was like 3 years ago. My son was a baby the last time I did it. So I'd like to do it again. And I'm going to share with you guys the characters that I'm considering. I'm only going to do one female character. Well, two if you include me going as Rarity in a box costume, or a rock costume. Why do I keep saying box? But anyways, the first one that I'm considering is Lena Inverse, the main character from Slayers. If I go with Lena, the main problem that I have with it is figuring out if I'm going to go as this version, which is the way that she looked in the TV series, or if I want to go more with this version, which is how she looked in the OVAs. I think what makes the OVA unique compared to the series is the OVA's top is a lot simpler. It's basically a yellow shirt. So it could be easier, cheaper along those lines if I go that route, but it's more common, if you want to say common anymore, for Lena Inverse cosplayers to go with the TV series route. So I might go that way. I don't know. I haven't really quite worked out those details. The other female character, and I'm using that term loosely in this case that I'm considering, comes from Skyrim. I haven't really quite figured out exactly which one it is that I'm going to go with. I'm looking at 4 potential Skyrim characters for this idea. The first one, and by the way, for anybody who's into Skyrim, I know for a fact I'm going to be butchering some of these names. I'm terrible with Nordic names. But the first one that I'm going to go over, and by the way, these are in alphabetical order. That's how I decided to go with these. Whew. Wow, bless me. No, I'm not going to edit that out. I think it's funny. Haha. The first one that I'm considering is Mule the Lioness. Mostly because I like the quest that's involved that makes it to where you can qualify for her to be a marriage candidate. The one where you go for her weapon. I think that could be a fun one to go with. The next one that I'm looking at is... fuck, I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. But she's from the small town of Shorestone. Which, for those of you who have really bad memories, it's a small mining community that's north of Riften. So, she's someone else who can qualify as a potential bride. If I remember correctly, you have to take a satchel to her father, and her father returns another one to her, or something like that, and it's done through you, kind of thing. It's been a while since I've done that quest, so I could be remembering that slightly off. Potential character number 3 is Temba Wide Arms. Well, the character herself, I'm not really fond of. It is kind of interesting how she has a quest available where basically all you had to do was give her 10 bear pelts, and they could be of any type of bear, at least as far as I am aware of. So you just buy them and not have to kill a single bear. I mean, it's a lot more fun to kill the bears, because I kind of agree with her. Fuck the bears. Kill them all. But yeah, other than that, she's kind of a bitch, which makes me a little bit sad, because her name, Temba Wide Arms, is a reference to my favorite episode in all of Star Trek The Next Generation. It's a great episode, and if you're someone who's even a casual fan, you probably already know which episode I'm talking about. But yeah, it's easily one of my favorite episodes. The fourth character, and if I had to make the decision right here and now, this is probably who I would go with, and that's Isolde. I'm pretty sure that's how to pronounce her name. That's how I would suggest it be pronounced if I had no idea what I was talking about, which I technically don't. But yeah, you know, I think she's a great character. I know that she's another person you can marry. All you have to do is get her a mammoth tusk. Speaking of which, can you marry Temba? I'm not sure on that one. But yeah, you can marry Isolde as well. But I like her personality. I like how she's also involved with the really, really fun quest that involves you getting drunk with a particular god. So it's really fun. So, but anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at for KomoriCon, and as well as trying to finish up this video for you guys. I'm hoping to have that video done within the next week and a half. I'm kind of putting the absolute final date on being the 13th, but I'm hoping it's going to be a hell of a lot sooner than that. Maybe as soon as the 6th or 7th. So, but anyways, in the meantime, everyone, please enjoy yourselves and don't do anything illegal. Thank you.